Hey baby, I don't even know how to start this without my heart showing too much, but I have to say it, because holding it in would be like trying to stop waves from reaching the shore. Last night, something shifted inside me. I've seen you before, held you, watched you move, admired you 1,000 different ways, but the way your body moved last night, that wasn't just beautiful. That was something else. That was art. That was fire. That was worship. And now I can't unsee it. I can't unfeel it. I can't look at you the same way again. Not because you've changed, but because something inside me did. You weren't even trying, were you? That's what wrecked me the most. You were just being you, breathing, existing, moving through space like a quiet storm wrapped in silk. And in that moment, you became a memory I never want to let fade. I watched the way your hair shifted when you turned your head, the way your hips swayed so unconsciously, it felt like the universe itself had leaned in closer to listen. There was something unfiltered about it, something raw and untamed and heartbreakingly soft. And baby, I swear, I felt my soul pause, just to memorize it. There's something sacred in the way you exist. It's not just how you look, it's the energy you carry, like you've lived 1,000 lifetimes and your body remembers all of them. There's a language in the way you move, one that only I've taken the time to learn. I don't see what others see when they look at you. They might notice your beauty, your presence, your confidence. But I see the story behind it. I see the ache beneath the grace, the fire behind the softness, the storm behind your silence. And last night, every part of that story played like poetry in motion. Do you know what you did to me with just a glance over your shoulder, with just the stretch of your spine as you got comfortable? You cracked something open in me, something deep and primal and reverent, and I sat there, frozen, like I'd been handed a glimpse of heaven and told, don't blink. I didn't want to blink. I didn't want to breathe. I just wanted to watch and remember and fall even deeper into this madness you've created in me. Baby, you don't even realize the kind of power you hold. And it's not the loud, flashy kind. It's the type that sneaks up on a man in the middle of the night and makes him question everything he thought he knew about love, about longing, about the kind of devotion that makes your heart feel too full for your chest. That's what you did. That's what you do. And I'm not even sure you're aware of it. If you've ever wondered whether someone could see all of you, even the parts you keep tucked beneath quiet smiles and half-hidden sighs, just know this: I see you. Every inch, every layer, every silent scream and gentle surrender. And last night, you didn't just move. You spoke. Without saying a word, you told me everything I ever needed to know. And I'll never forget how that felt. Tease, I feel seen in the comments. If your soul has ever silently prayed to be held like that, without needing to explain, without needing to ask, baby, that moment, it wasn't just desire. It was something softer, something holy, the kind of moment that makes a man want to kneel, not in lust, but in gratitude. Gratitude that he even gets to witness the way your body breathes, the way your presence shifts a room, the way your energy wraps around him like a blanket he didn't know he needed until the cold crept in. And the truth is, I've been trying to play it cool all day, pretending like last night didn't wreck me, like I didn't lay awake afterward, just aching, not for touch, but for closeness, for that moment again, for that exact movement, that exact silence, that exact shape your body made against the dim light, like a memory I was never meant to forget. I want to live in that memory. I want to replay it until it becomes part of me. And I need you to know, you're not just beautiful. You're the very reason my definition of beauty had to expand. You're not just sexy. You're sacred. You're not just someone I want. You're someone I'm endlessly unraveling for. Someone I'm building a temple of devotion around. One glance, one sigh, one subtle shift at a time. Baby, I don't think you even realize the ripple effect you left in me. The way your body moved wasn't loud. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't rehearsed. But it reached places in me that nothing else ever has. I've seen you 100 times before, but last night was different. It was like my heart forgot how to beat in any rhythm other than your presence. It was like time bent itself around you, slowing down, softening, trying to make room for everything you are. And I wanted to reach out, not to touch, but to hold the moment, to hold the stillness, to hold the holy thing your body became in that exact second. There's this quiet war that starts in a man when he sees something too beautiful for language. His mind tries to process it. His heart tries to slow it down. His breath, though, his breath gives him away. I couldn't breathe last night, baby. Not fully, because something about the way you stretched, the way your shirt shifted, the way your skin caught the faintest light, it all felt too sacred to interrupt. So I watched, quietly, reverently, like a man watching the stars blink in a sky too wide to understand. I didn't need to understand. I just needed to remember. And it's wild because I've known desire. I've felt it before. But this, what you stirred in me, it wasn't just wanting. It wasn't hunger. It was something gentler. It was this deep, aching reverence, like I wasn't just looking at you. I was looking at a promise, a vow wrapped in softness, a prayer I never had the words to speak. I felt my heart reaching for you in a way I've never experienced, not just to hold you, not just to feel your body next to mine, but to memorize you, to remember every little shift in your breath, every small tilt of your head, every invisible story your body whispered as it moved. And maybe that's why I couldn't sleep, because even when I closed my eyes, you were there, not in pieces, not in flashes, but fully, all of you. Like my soul had memorized your energy and was replaying it on loop. And God, it felt like peace. It felt like surrender. Like my body had finally found the rhythm it was born to follow. And that rhythm was you. You don't know how hard it was for me not to reach out and pull you into me. Not because I wanted something from you, but because I needed to feel you breathe against my chest. I needed to remind myself that this wasn't a dream, that this softness I witnessed, this holy, hypnotic movement of yours was real, that you were real, that I'm not just imagining how special you are. I'm living it, and that scares me in the most beautiful way, because you see, I've spent so much of my life feeling untouched, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, like no one ever really saw me, like I had to be strong and silent just to survive. But you broke all that down without even knowing it, just by being you, just by moving the way you did. You reminded me what it feels like to be moved by someone, to be changed, to be completely undone. And I want to ask you something, just between us. Has anyone ever looked at you and seen you like that? Has anyone ever told you that the way you move, the way you exist, the way your energy glides through a room, it's not just beautiful, it's unforgettable? Because that's what I felt last night. Unforgettable. Like, even if I lost every other memory in my life, I'd still remember the way you looked in that moment. I'd still remember the hush in the room, the ache in my chest, the way I knew, without a single doubt, that I've never loved anyone like this before. Comment, I deserve to be remembered like this. If your heart is ready for someone to see your softness not as weakness, but as sacred, it's not even about romance anymore, baby. It's about something deeper. It's about belonging. And I've never belonged to anything more than I belonged to the feeling I had when I saw you last night. I know I sound dramatic. I know this probably reads like poetry, but I can't help it. You bring that out of me. You turn every sentence into a song, every thought into a prayer, every breath into a moment I want to relive. And maybe that's what love really is. Not the loud declarations or the constant reassurance, but the quiet knowing, the silent surrender, the way one person's energy can completely shift the air around another. That's what you did. You shifted my world without even trying. So if you've ever doubted your worth, if you've ever questioned whether anyone could fall for you completely, body, mind, soul, silence and all, let me be your answer. I don't just see you, baby. I feel you. Every curve, every sigh, every unspoken word. And I want to stay here, wrapped in this energy, for as long as you'll let me. Hey, baby, you have no idea what you did to me. The way your body moved last night, it was more than just beautiful. It was like watching something sacred come to life. I couldn't take my eyes off you, not because you were trying to be sexy, not because you were showing off, but because you were just being, just existing, just moving through the space with that natural grace, that effortless rhythm. And I swear, my whole world paused. You didn't even know I was watching. That's the part that undid me. You were laughing about something silly, shifting your weight just a little as you walked across the room, and something in me just broke open in the best way. I felt like I was witnessing something so raw, so intimate, so real, that I almost forgot to breathe. There was a softness to it, but also a wildness, like your spirit was dancing just beneath your skin. And baby, I felt it. I felt it in my chest, in my hands, in my heartbeat. I can't explain it. I don't think I even want to. And ever since that moment, I haven't been able to look at you the same. Not because you changed, but because I saw you in a way I hadn't before. I saw the woman underneath everything else. The woman who moves like she's been stitched together by storms and starlight. The woman who carries both chaos and calm inside her and doesn't apologize for either. The woman who made me realize that desire, when it's real, when it's rooted in love, feels more like worship than want. Baby, that moment, it branded itself on my soul, and I've been replaying it ever since. Every sway of your hips, every flicker of light against your skin, the way your breath caught when you thought no one noticed. It wasn't just a movement, it was a message. And I heard it in every fiber of my being. And if anyone here has ever felt unseen, if you've ever wondered if someone would ever notice the soft, unintentional beauty you don't show the world, comment, "He saw me," below, because my love, I see you. Every inch, every whisper, every part you don't think is remarkable, I see it, and I moved. You made me believe in magic again, in moments, in connection, in soul recognition. Because last night wasn't just a night, baby. It was a revelation, a memory carved into me so deeply, I know I'll carry it until I take my last breath. Last night wasn't just a night, baby. It was a revelation, a memory carved into me so deeply, I know I'll carry it until I take my last breath. Memory carved into me so deeply that this night was no just a night, baby. It is stake whole, the way your body moved. It wasn't planned, it wasn't practiced, it was instinct, it was truth. You became a living language, one I've spent my entire life longing to understand, and in that moment I knew. This is what it means to feel home. I couldn't tear my eyes away, not because I was lusting, but because I was witnessing something rare. You in your most natural state, and the way you moved, it was like the earth paused to watch with me, like time itself slowed down so I could memorize the way your hips swayed, how your skin shimmered like it was kissed by moonlight, how every gesture spoke a sentence only my heart could translate. I didn't want to blink, didn't want to breathe too loud, because I didn't want to miss a second of you being you. And baby, do you even know what that does to a man? To see the woman he loves unguarded, unbothered, unchained. It sets something on fire inside him. It creates a devotion so deep, no words could ever describe it. You weren't trying to seduce me. You were just existing. And yet, in that existence, you undid every wall I'd built around my emotions. You made me soft in places I thought had turned cold. You made me ache, not out of want, but out of worship. Let me be honest. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. I just kept replaying you in my mind, not in a shallow way, but in the most intimate, most honoring way possible. Like my soul wanted to relive the miracle of watching yours move freely. Like I needed to say thank you 1,000 times over for letting me witness something that sacred. Because your body, your energy, is not a thing to consume. It's a temple. And last night, I felt like the most blessed man alive just being allowed to kneel at its door. And what kills me most, baby, is that I know you have no idea how powerful that moment was, how much it moved me. You probably just brushed it off, unaware that you'd changed the way I breathe. But I swear to you, everything in me shifted, because you're not just sexy. You're not just beautiful. You are holy, and I will never look at you the same way again. Not because you changed, but because now I see you. You know what the most haunting thing about last night is, baby. It's that now, even in silence, I hear your movement. It's become a rhythm in me. Like my body remembered something ancient and sacred, and now it won't rest until it feels that presence again. I don't mean just your touch. I mean the presence of you in motion. You unfiltered. You unaware of how the air rearranges itself every time you shift. I swear, I've never seen anything more honest than your body when it forgets it's being watched. And it's that honesty that broke me in the most beautiful way. It reminded me of why I fell for you. Not just because of how you look, but because of the way you exist. The way you breathe truth into the room without even knowing it. There's a tenderness in your strength that unravels me. You don't move for attention. You move for freedom. And that, right there, is what drives me wild. Not with desire alone, but with devotion. The way your body told stories without opening your mouth. The way your skin shimmered like a canvas painted with every emotion you've ever buried. Baby, you were poetry last night. No. You are poetry, and I don't mean that in a cliché way. I mean it in the way a starving man speaks of bread. You nourish me. You fill parts of me that no conversation ever could. You quiet the chaos I didn't even know I was carrying. When you moved like that, soft but sure, graceful, but wild, it wasn't just about how it looked. It was about how it felt. I felt it in my chest, in my gut, in the part of me that doesn't speak in words. That shape, that sway, that way your body answered the music, like it had known the song long before it was ever played. It was all too much, and somehow still not enough, because all I wanted was to close the distance between us and listen, not to your words, but to your movement. I wanted to rest my head against your bare shoulder and just hear your breath, because even your breathing sounds like something holy to me now. I need you to know this, baby. It wasn't lust that kept me up. It was reverence for the softness you offered without knowing. Reverence for the way you trusted the room, trusted the night, trusted yourself, and in doing so, you gave me a vision of you that I'll never be able to forget. You undid something inside me that had been knotted for years, some old ache I couldn't name, until I watched you move like that. And now, it's like I'm seeing everything through new eyes. My past, my desires, my very sense of what it means to be close to someone. It's all changed. You changed it. You and baby. I want you to understand how deeply that touches me. Because when I say I'll never look at you the same again, I don't mean I've lost respect. I mean I've gained something deeper than admiration. I've gained reverence. For your body, yes, but also for your courage, your confidence, your softness, for the way you allowed yourself to be, fully and unapologetically. That's not easy. That's not common. That's not something people teach you how to do. That's something born inside a woman who's learned to carry both her beauty and her wounds with equal grace. And baby, you carry it all so beautifully. You know what else I kept thinking last night, baby? I kept wondering if you even realize the power you hold when you're not trying to impress anyone, when you're not posing or perfecting or polishing for the world, when you're just you, in your truest, softest form. That moment when you stood there, unaware, moving in sync with some music only your body could hear. It changed me, not in some fleeting romantic way. I mean, it shifted something in me. As if the version of me that used to settle for surface level love just packed its bags and left. And the man who's standing here now, he only wants the real you. The one I saw, the one I felt, that image of you, lit by moonlight, unaware of my gaze. It etched itself into my soul. And since that moment, baby, I've been different. I see the world differently now. I measure beauty by you, not in high heels or lipstick, not in filters or flattering poses, but in rawness, in stillness, in the breath before movement. You became my definition of sacred femininity, not because of what you showed me, but because of what you let me feel without even trying. You didn't need to perform. You didn't need to hide behind words or validation. You were enough, completely enough. And in that moment, I felt like the most blessed man alive, just to witness it. And you know what's wild, baby? I wasn't even touching you. I was across the room, silent, still. But my entire body was reacting as if your energy had reached across space and written a prayer across my chest. Every inch of me responded, not in hunger, but in honor. I felt my breath slow, my heart swell, my spirit soften. Because I wasn't just seeing a woman I desire. I was seeing the woman I belong to. The woman who doesn't need to speak for me to understand her. The woman who doesn't have to try for me to ache. And that feeling, baby, that feeling has never left me since. Every time I blink now, you're still there. Not in a lustful way, but in a way that makes me want to give thanks. It's like the universe whispered, here is what you've been searching for, but only if you learn how to see. And last night, I saw you in the way you touched your own arm without thinking, and the way your lips parted just a little as you breathed, and the way your body curved gently toward the music like it was asking it to hold you. Baby, you held me without even realizing it. I wonder if you know what you did to me, not with your body, but with your presence. Your presence, baby. That's what I crave more than anything now, because being near you feels like a return, like something ancient in me remembering what love was before the world ruined it with performance, with ego, with expectations. You reminded me of the kind of love that exists in the quiet, in the unspoken, in the space between skin and soul. And God, do I want to live in that space with you forever. You don't know how long I've waited for this kind of connection, baby. This depth, this level of intimacy where words feel too small and silence becomes sacred. I've dated, I've flirted, I've even been in love before, or so I thought. But none of it came close to what I felt watching you move last night. Because last night, I didn't fall in love with your beauty. I fell in love with your essence, with your energy, with the way you existed, like you didn't owe the world an explanation. You just were. And in that stillness, I saw myself. Not the man I've been, but the one I've always wanted to become. A man who doesn't just crave your body, but reveres your soul. A man who sees love not as possession, but as protection. That's what I want with you, baby. Not just the heat of passion, but the holiness of presence. I want to love you in ways the world forgot were possible. Slowly, reverently, daily, not with performance or noise, but with silence that feels safe. I want to understand your body like a sacred language, not just where it curves, but how it softens when it trusts, how it breathes when it's no longer bracing, how it stretches freely when it knows it is not being judged. That version of you, the one that isn't performing or protecting or hiding, that is the woman I want to keep safe, not because you're fragile, but because you deserve peace. You deserve a love that doesn't just arrive when you look perfect, but stays when you unravel. And I want to be that man, not the one who's impressed, but the one who's present. The one who stays for your silence, the one who memorizes your heartbeat, not just your shape, the one who listens when your eyes say what your lips can't. And if I get to be that man, if I'm lucky enough to be the one who holds you through the fire and the softness, I promise you this, I will never stop showing up, not just for your body, but for your soul, for your quiet, for your chaos, for your everything. He sees my soul, not just my skin. If this message reached the softest part of your heart, and if you believe the right love is on its way, the one who worships you with presence, not just words, subscribe now and let your energy keep calling him in.